Look out over these endless ridges, and it's easy to think we've mapped every inch of the world. But right beneath those mountains lies a completely hidden geography, a massive, dark frontier that satellite networks can't see and GPS can't reach. Down there, you can still find what cavers call virgin passage. This is a pocket of the Earth that has never held a human being. When you crawl into a space like this, every piece of stone around you is original. It is sitting precisely where it came to rest thousands of years ago. To actually get into these spaces, explorers often have to dig the cave open themselves. They claw out thousands of years of packed dirt and loose rock, clearing just enough debris to make a hole they can physically feed their own bodies through. This diagram shows the geometry of a tight squeeze. To get through a gap this small, you often have to go in feet first. Your legs move blind, then your hips. Your chest follows, and your head is the absolute last thing to enter. Because your face is pointed back the way you came, your skull is sliding blindly, inches below stone that no one has ever tested. The moment you wedge yourself into that gap, you are introducing a chaotic new variable into a very delicate geological equation. Everything holding that tunnel together is relying on nothing more than friction, gravity, and time. Picture a cavern working his way through one of these newly dug slots. His legs and torso are already through, and now he is pulling his head and shoulders into the absolute tightest pinch of the crawl space. Without a crack, without a groan, without any warning at all, a massive slab of solid rock simply peels off the ceiling. It releases the grip it has held since before humanity existed, and it drops. The block catches him squarely across the body. The sheer weight of the stun drives him straight into the floor, crushing him flat against the bedrock beneath him. This vector graphic illustrates the one tiny piece of mercy in the collapse. Because of the exact angle of the falling slab, the force bore down and squeezed him out of the crawl space, shooting him forward the way you'd squeeze the last bit of paste from a tube. He misses being permanently pinned to the floor by exactly a single hand's width. He is alive. But the slab that just missed killing him has now come to rest completely across the tunnel. The only way out is blocked by a massive sheet of stone, sealing two men inside a tiny pocket of earth that has existed for less than 2 days. Down there, the dark is total. A headlamp gives you a tiny bowl of visible rock, maybe a few feet across. But past that edge, the black simply resumes. It is a physical, pressing darkness that never softens. This diagram shows what fear does to a human body trapped inside a space like that. Your chest is pressed tightly against the floor, and the rigid stone crowds your back. When you try to draw a deep breath, your lungs physically fail to fully expand. Your brain starts screaming that the air is thinning, triggering a primal terror of suffocation, long before the actual oxygen ever runs low. There is no high-tech solution to this problem. The rescue is entirely primitive. 4 men on the outside, and the 2 trapped men on the inside, start swinging metal hammers at the same slab of rock from opposite faces, trying to smash the barrier down into pieces small enough to drag away. Every strike of metal biting into rock echoes through the pocket. It is the best sound in the world because it proves help is still there. But it is also a torturous clock. Every slow, agonizing blow measuring exactly how much stone still stands between them and the sky. 4 straight hours of relentless, exhausting labor finally shatters the slab. Escaping a trap like this doesn't come down to brilliant engineering. It relies completely on the brute force of an iron hammer and the flat refusal to leave 2 men behind the rock. When you pull back from that single, terrible bottleneck, you realize something about the larger pursuit of underground exploration. People often assume the main threat in a cave is getting lost in a maze of tunnels or having your flashlight batteries die. But those are manageable risks. The actual hazard is the earth itself. We are so used to walking through human-engineered buildings and reinforced concrete that we project that stability onto nature. But untouched stone has no structural guarantees. There are no steel beams holding up a cave ceiling, and it undergoes absolutely 0 safety inspections. And here is the brutal irony of hunting for virgin cave. The very actions required to find a new passage, digging out the mud, clearing the debris, and dragging your body underneath a ledge, are the exact things most likely to destroy the rock's ancient balance and bring the ceiling down on top of you. Every time an explorer slides into an unmapped gap, they are making a blind gamble against gravity. And as we saw in Tennessee, the entire distance between walking out with a historic discovery and being permanently buried underground is often just a handful of inches.